Others, are you all able to hear me? Yeah, good morning, Krishna. Yeah, thank you. So, did anyone miss yesterday's session? Yeah, good morning, Satyam. You can. Good morning, Vishwajit. Okay. Yeah, please let me know if anybody missed yesterday's session so that I can revise and then I'll continue with that. Okay. Fine, no problem. Okay. So let us revise the session. What we did yesterday is, yeah, okay, what we did yesterday is we have concluded input function. Like if you remember, we have discussed input function in our last before last session. We discussed that. Let me just open that. Blackboard as well and talk about that input function. Okay. So this is we talked about input function in our last session, if you remember. Okay. We know that we have in Python 3.x, we do have a function called input function. Functions obviously will have parentheses. Okay. And this is a built-in function, which is nothing but a predefined function in Python. And whenever I write anything in a square brackets, it means that particular argument or particular parameter is optional. Okay, so this prompt is nothing but what you wanted to ask user to enter. Like you can say anything inside this prompt, enter your name, enter age, okay, enter any number, whatever the sentence you wanted to say. You can just write it as a string. String means either it can be in single quotes, or it can be in double quotes, or it can be in triple quotes. So you can write that prompt inside the input function. And the input function will accept the data from the key code and returns you into the variable. So you can assign that whatever the user enters into that, you can assign that into a variable. Also, we discussed that in Python, it is dynamically typed. So variable is no need to declare. You can directly use the variable before means no need for declaration, and it is not possible to declare any variable of any data type. But it is dynamically typed means data type will be decided at runtime. So it gets declared at runtime. You don't have to declare. That is what dynamically typed programming languages mean, and it always returns you string type. Okay, input function will always returns you string type as a safe side, because if it returns the appropriate type, okay, then we also talked about, like in Python 2 we do have an input function which implicitly uses this eval function, which is responsible for evaluating. So what it will do is it will evaluate and it will automatically convert into appropriate type. But we've seen that performance wise it is very low. So if you use this input function many times in your program, then you don't your performance of the program will go slow. And also second reason is that user will not have any choice to convert into his own appropriate type. That's why Python people realize, and they decided that let us not continue this input function. So they drop this input function in Python 3. They have input function in Python 3, which is similar to raw underscore input function. Like we learned that in Python 2, raw underscore input function will always return string. So input function in Python 3 will also return string. Why this knowledge is required? Because most of us will think that input function in Python 2 and input function in Python 3 are same. But as you see that input function in Python 2 and input function in Python 3 are not same. They are totally different. Okay, input function in Python 2 returns the appropriate value, but Python 3 it always returns string, and you need to use this type conversion functions like int, float, complex, boolean, string, eval. these functions you can use to convert into appropriate type. Okay, so it is user responsibility to convert into appropriate type. That is what we have concluded in our last session, that input function in Python 3 is always written string, and it is your responsibility to convert into appropriate type. Is that clear, Nitin, and others who missed our yesterday's session? Is that clear for everyone? That this is what we concluded yesterday about input function. Okay, and we'll see some of examples so that you'll get more clarity. No worry, we have hundreds and hundreds of examples to do, so your input function will get clear. And anytime if you get doubt, please let me know. I will revise once again at that time. Then we started discussing about output function. Okay, we already learned our print function, no doubt, but we need to elaborate it, and we need to see in detail. So we started discussing our output function yesterday. So there is an output function in Python called print function. Okay, there is an output function in Python like print function. On request of Ubul, we try to compare little bit with C language printf function. If you are familiar with C language printf function, so we know that printf function is available in stdio.h. So you will include stdio.h before using this printf function and scanf function. So you will use printf function, and what you will do is you will use this format specifier like percentile d for telling that it's an integer value, and then you will use the variable name, so it will print that value in place of this percentile d. In place of this percentile d, it will print you an integer value. But what is the problem with this type of printf function or scanf function? You have to mention the format specifier. You have to mention the format specifier. So if you mention the wrong format specifier, if you mention the wrong format specifier, then the program will completely go wrong. Okay, it will print the wrong output. So C language actually is totally dependent on user for input and output. Remember, every programming language faces the problem with input output. They have some bugs, or they have some drawbacks when taking input and output. So that's why Python is a little bit careful while taking input and output. That's why Python says that I will always accept the value as a string. It is your responsibility to convert into appropriate type. It's not my responsibility to give you the correct type. That's what Python has concluded with the input function being on safe side. Being on safe side. Yeah, Satyam, I'll get back in a moment. Let me just talk about it, and I'll get back to your question. Okay, so that's what. And even in Python, print statement will automatically convert into appropriate type, guys. Okay, if you give an integer value, it will print an integer value. If you give a float value, it will print a float value. If you give string value, it will print string value. If you give complex value, it will print complex value. If you give a variable, it will print the content of a variable, etc. So you don't have to mention what data type you are printing. There is no format specific. You do have format specifiers in Python as well, but you don't have to tell them that in which format you have to convert. Directly give the value, it gets printed. Directly give the value, it gets printed. Let me demonstrate with our Python IDLE. So I'll start my Python IDLE, and let me demonstrate that. For example, if I just say that print me an integer value called 2, Python says no problem, I will print 2 as an integer. If I ask Python to print me a floating point value, it will say no problem, I will print you a floating point value. If I ask my Python to print me a string value, it will say no problem, I will print a string value here now. Okay. If I ask my Python to print me a complex value, it says no problem, I will print a complex value. So these are the different types of value you can print it. Okay, you can print an integer value, you can print a float value, you can print a string value, you can print a complex value. So whatever the value you wanted to print it, you can print those particular values here now. Okay, so that's where Python print statement is so smart. It will automatically convert, and it automatically understand what you are passing actually. So based on that, it prints you the particular value now. So you don't have to mention the format specifier. Okay, you don't have to mention the format specifier here. So that's the beauty. Even Java, if you are familiar with Java, you have system.out.println, but those methods are overloaded. So there are different methods for integer and all, but Python print statement is very light and very easy, very efficient to use compared to any programming language, guys. So Python input and output functions are much better than any programming language. Okay, much better than any programming language, because this kind of questions you may face in interview, like, okay, what is the difference between printf and print function? Okay, difference between println function and print function, so you can compare and contrast sometime. But believe me that Python print function and input function is much convenient than any other input or output function in any programming language. That's the beauty of Python. That's the beauty of Python. Okay, then we also seen that you can also print multiple values. You can give a couple of integer values to be printed separated by comma. Okay, separated by comma. It will not print commas there. Instead, it will print space. Why it is printing space? We came to know yesterday that the second argument in your print function is called separator. The second argument in your print function is separator, and the default value is space. Meaning that whenever you pass multiple values separated by comma, whenever you pass multiple values separated by comma, then automatically it will add a space in between them. Automatically it will add a space in between them. So that way, when you say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, you will get printed as 1 space 2 space 3 space 4. It will add space in between them. Now you not only integer, you can print any multiple values as well. You can print one integer, one float, okay, another string, okay, another string, the boolean value. So anything, you can please print multiple values, all the values gets printed separated by space. Okay, so not only you can give a single value, you can give multiple values separated by comma. You can give multiple values separated by comma. Like for example, we last time we calculated c is equal to 2 plus 3. I'm just writing it to show you, and we printed like this. Print, we printed a string. Generally we do that, right? String, a combination with an integer variable. So when I do this, you know that string will be printed as it is, and in place of C, the result will be printed now. So that is how we combine things in Python separated by comma. So you can take multiple arguments. So string is my first argument and C is my second argument. Now when I print this, it will print me sum is equal to 5. But you also notice that after equals to, there is a space. After equals to, there is a space because of this separator now. Because of this separator. And also, yesterday we have solved one problem, one exercise we have solved, where we printed, we asked you to print some strings separated by hyphens, right? We ask you to print the string separated by hyphens, as you can see here. Okay, no, not this one. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, this is a string we ask you to print, right? We ask you to print, take number, and we ask you to print this value something like this. 7 hyphen 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 14 and all. So what in short I can tell you that we seen that yesterday that the separator can be changed. Like if you wish to print your own separator, then you can print your own separator. Like suppose in interview they will ask you, okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, it's printing 1 space 2 space 3 space 4. Can you print a dot in between, or can you print a comma in between? Yes, you can do that. How can you do that? You can say print. Okay, you can say print, and you can say that, okay, you wanted to print 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and comma, you can give this argument as separator, and you can give any value to the separator, either in single quotes or double quotes. Okay, you can give this particular thing, then you can see that it's printing comma in between. So you can replace that separator whatever you want. You can replace the separator whatever you want. It's very simple, but can be interview question. can be expected as an interview, that they wanted to test you whether you know all the arguments of print function. Like yesterday I told you, print function takes 5 arguments and we discussed 2 arguments out of it. Is that clear for all of you? That what is these 2 arguments? This is what we concluded yesterday, that print is a built-in function, okay, and you don't have to include or import anything because it is available in built-in module, and it takes 5 arguments. Out of that 5 arguments, 2 arguments we discussed. The first argument, it takes multiple values, like it can be integer value, float value, string value, complex value, okay, it can take any value. And separator is by default space, it prints a space in between them whenever we put a comma, okay. And can we put 2 different separators? No, Siva Krishna, good question, but we cannot put 2 different separator. Okay, separator will be common for that particular string. Okay, you can put 2 different, like you can combine a string, you can print anything in between, but it should be the same. Biswal, you have to check on your side that okay, so please let me see here. Anybody having any question? Okay. Meantime, I would like to answer Satyam's question. So Satyam asking Python 2.x raw underscore input and input both are same. Raw underscore input takes returns string value, and input takes input in appropriate type. Yes, about Python 2.x, it's perfectly correct. Both are different, that's all. That's perfectly correct, Satyam. Okay, so whatever Satyam has mentioned, please guys note it down. Can be asked in interview that Python 2.x raw underscore input and input both are different. Okay, raw underscore input returns string and input returns appropriate type because it internally uses the eval function. Thank you, Satyam. Please, guys, any questions regarding this print function? Shall we continue now? Okay, thank you, Ubul, for confirming. Please, others also confirm and please ask questions. See, actually, asking questions will save my time, instead of waiting and instead of revising. I think it's always better if you ask questions, I can answer, and the things will get clear for everyone. Yeah, thank you all for confirming that things gets clear. No doubt we have many more programs to do. So let us start with a simple exercise. Shall we go for an exercise now? Okay, so let's go with an exercise. Okay, so the exercise is very simple again. I want you to write a program. Yeah, you can use parentheses anywhere, Satyam. That's not a problem, but that is not, it doesn't become function then. Yeah, definitely, Shiva. I will do at the end of the session. Is that okay? I will do at the end of the session. We will spend some time on understanding print versus printf, input versus scanf. We'll spend little time on that. Okay, so good. Thank you. So that's true, Satyam. Whatever you said, it's true, but it still never become a function. Try to pass arguments, you will get end up with an error. Okay, so let's go with this program, guys. So you have to write a program that asks user to enter a positive number, and then you have to print out the square root of that number to 2 decimal places. Like, for example, if you ask user to enter a number now, integer number, then you have to print the number. Its square root, you have to print it. Like the square root of 3 is 1.73. Square root of 2 is 1.414. Okay, and square root of 4 is 2. So you have to print the square root of that particular number. I hope the question is clear. You have to write a program where you will ask user to enter any number, so user will enter the number, and you have to print the square root of that number. You have to print square root of that number. So use your intelligence, use your previous programming language knowledge, and try to implement this program. Again, it's just 3 lines of code: taking input, finding the square root, and then printing the square root. Let's see who will complete and get the output as I shown in sample input output. Yeah, that's perfect, SK. SQRT function is available in Python. Okay, very good, Kudal. So we can say enter positive number, perfect, and we can convert into integer. That's perfect. I know you don't know how to use square root function. I just want you to try to use it. Think about it and come up with a conclusion. And never ever Google, because that spoils the confidence level. Okay, it's good to know sometime, but think about it, because this time you have to spend alone. I want you to spend time uh, alone. That's the most critical, crucial time which makes you a programmer. I'm not saying that you should end up with correct result. If it is completed, it's well and good, but now you need to try yourself. I'm giving time so that you can try multiple ways. You'll end up with error, you will learn something, he will complain, the interpreter, you'll try to understand interpreter in a better way. So this 2 3 minutes whatever you spend, it's very crucial, guys, believe me. And it's 100% true that you will get errors, and try to learn from errors. Anybody completed? See, I can give you maximum 2 to 3 minutes, guys, not more than that, because these programs are very simple. And you just need to write 3 lines of code. Okay, so it's not time up. So let me solve the problem. Okay, Obul is done. Very good. Obul is done. Very good. We are not finding the power, Krishna. We have to find the square root of that number. Okay, we have to find the square root of that number. So I think you have not executed. So let's execute that code. So what I will do is I'll open the script. I'll open the script. Okay, yeah, it's zero point 0.5 you say. Okay, so fine, you're finding the other way, but let us do that way. Let us do this way. So let me just check how many of you have written this line correctly. Int of, because we have to convert into integer, so I will write int function, and inside this int function I will write input function, and I will say enter a positive integer. Enter a positive integer. Just tell me how many of you wrote this line correctly, so that I can conclude input function is clear for everyone. Okay, Snehal, thank you. Udit, thank you. Daljit, thank you. Okay. Ravindranath, Vamshi, Siva Krishna, Saif, Anjali, thank you everyone. Santosh. It's saying that positive integer, Santosh, so int is better. Whenever you are 100% sure that it is an integer value, so you should not use eval then. Okay, eval can only be used if you have confusion, like whether it can be integer or it can be float or it can be any other input. Then only use eval, otherwise don't use eval function. Okay, so good. So I can see that most of you have written this function line perfectly fine. Now the next line is I have to find the square root. And SK is asked that do you have a square root in Python? Yes, We do have a square root in Python, but this square root function, as we have explored many functions, let us explore this square root function also. Okay, so this square root function, sqrt function, let me use a different color. Okay, so this sqrt function is also a function in Python which takes the number as a parameter where you wanted to find the square root. So like in other languages like in C, C++ and Java also, you do have this square root function. And this square root function is not available in built-in module. Remember, built-in module is defaultly imported in Python. That's why whenever you're using print function, input function, int function, float function, you did not imported anything because they are available in built-in function. They are available in built-in function. But square root function is available in math module, and this module is not defaultly imported. So you have to import this module first of all. So syntax is, you are learning now how to import any module in Python. So with this example, you are learning two things. One is you are exploring two new functions, because every program we will learn something new. Every program we will learn something new. So in this program, what you are learning is, anyhow you are learning how to take input and how to print output, and also you are learning how to import a new module, because built-in module is defaultly imported, but other modules are not available to you, so you have to import them before using them. Okay, otherwise you will end up with an error. Otherwise you will end up with an error. Like for example, I wanted to use this, like I wanted to use s is equal to find the result. Yeah, very goodable. And we have to use the function something like this, math.sqrt. Math.sqrt. This is a module. This is a function I have to use it now. Math.sqrt. You have to use the module name and then the function name. This is a syntax for using any function from other modules. If it is available default module, then you can use directly. Like that's why it's changing in purple color, guys. Whenever in IDLE you get the function in purple color, it means it's available in built-in module. You can use them directly. You don't have to import them. But if you are using any other functions like sqrt, power, okay, any other function, then you have to use the module. Then you have to use the module now. So math module. Okay, we will explore all these modules later, guys. Don't worry, we can explore all these modules later. But now let us learn this math module have a function called sqrt to find the square root. But if I run this code now, you will get an error. You will get an error. I think I should restart this shell. So I will close this and I will restart the shell. Okay, I'll close now and I will run this code again. Now you'll see that you will get an error that it will accept the number, but you will add an error that name math is not defined. It's saying that you did not, I don't know what is this math is all about. Okay, so that's why you have to import them. You need to say import math. So always, whenever you are using any function which is not defaultly available, you have to import them. So first lines in your program will be importing the modules, guys. So Python is rich in module, meaning we will learn around 15 to 20 modules in Python. In later session, we will explore. I'm not teaching you math module, but it can be useful in our mathematical problems. So that's why I'm importing math module. And one more conclusion I wanted to do here, doesn't mean that any mathematical program you have to import math. You will only import math if you are using any functions from it. Okay. If you wanted to know what is there in the module, if you wanted to know what is there in the module, you can check like this, guys. You can check like this. You can use this dir function and you can check. Okay, first you have to import, sorry, I will import that module, import math. Now if you wanted to check what is there inside that math module, you can check something like this. You can say dir of math. It will show you all the functions available in this math module. Can you see functions available in the math module, like a cosine, okay, sine function, tan function, okay, ceil function, copy sine function, you have degrees, you have exponential, and you also see we have sqrt function. Understood everyone? That you can check what is available in that particular module using this dir function. So please import that module, and dir of that function will tell you that what is available in that particular thing. Yes, true Ubul. And you want, no, not help, actually dir. You have to mention dir, not help. Okay, we use help function to know about the function now. Now you wanted to know what is this sqrt function, then you can do help and you can say math dot sqrt. Then it will show you the function definition. It tells you that help on built-in function called sqrt in the module called math. What it will do, it will take one parameter which is x and returns you the square root of that x, returns the square root of this x. So this is very useful, guys. Please note down everyone that if you wanted to explore any module, this is the way you will explore the module. Santosh, mostly you, that's what the greatness about Python, that the way, the much you learn about modules, you will get more perfect with Python. That's what about Python. Python is only two things, Santosh. Learning about the syntax of Python, second, exploring the modules. Because you have hundreds and hundreds of modules in Python, and the beauty is you have to explore those modules. Like I told you, for machine learning, data science, we have modules like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, SciPy. For machine learning, we have modules like Scikit-learn. Okay, for graphical user interface programming, we have module like tkinter, Jython. Okay, for gaming, we have Pygame. So for everything, we have modules in Python. For every technology, for every stream, we have a different modules in Python. So you have to explore those modules. So we will be learning many modules in this course. We will be learning all the prerequisite modules for any advanced technologies we will learn in this course. Is that clear, Santosh? What is meant by module? Everyone understood? So through this program, we introduce one of the module called math module, which has many functions. You can use power function, you can use square root function, and I hope you know that these functions are very useful in mathematical programs. Okay, sometimes you wanted to find GCD, sometimes you wanted to find log value, sometimes you wanted to find power, sometimes you wanted to find the remainder value, sometimes you wanted to find the square root value, okay, sine value, cos value. So you may use any of the function. So if you wanted to use this function, make sure any of the function, make sure you import them and then use them. Import them and then use them. Now I can print the result. I can print sqrt, sqrt of, sqrt of n, okay, comma, then I can print, okay, sqrt of n is, I can print this s value. This is little perfect. Now I have help uses for function, only functions detail or what? Yes, Nehal. Help is used to know about the function. Any function, if you wanted to know what is the parameter, what is the name, what it returns, you will always use help. And dir is to explore the module. Dir function is used to explore the module, and help function will be used to get the help on the particular function. Is that clear, Snehal? And others as well? Please let me wait here and check that is this program clear for all of us before running. Is the first line clear? Why we are importing math? Because it's not a built-in module, so you have to import that math module. It's very easy, right? If you are from Java programmer, then you do the same way. In C also you included hash include math. You did this many times in programming language. So same here, you have to import math. Then as usual, I will take an input and I will write enter a positive integer. So you all confirm me that that line has no problem. So taking input is very clear now. Now I am finding the square root. Now the way you find the square root is math.sqrt of n, and then value will be stored in s. square root value will be stored in S, because we learned that sqrt function returns you the square root. So when you return, it will be stored in that variable. So remember, if any function returns the value, then only you will store it in a variable now. So result will be stored in the variable. Then I'm printing square root of will be printed as it is as a string. So it will print square root of 3 is 1.73. Square root of 3 is 1.73. If it is a negative number, it will return an error sk. If it is a negative number, it will return an error. That's why I mentioned here very clearly, enter positive integer only. Okay, so if I enter 2, it will print me square root of 2 is 1.414213562373091. It's returning me the square root with 15 decimal points. It's returning me with 15 decimal points. That's what. We need to learn another function with it. How to round this, we need to return another function. We will talk about sk. There is no range concept in Python. The concept of range and size is not there in Python. Okay, in short, but we will discuss in detail when we talk about data types. Okay, understood with this, guys? Is it printing perfect? Is the output clear for everyone? I am printing string followed by the variable, then string followed by the variable, and I separated with the comma. Udit, floor or steel function will return you an integer. We don't want that. Yeah. Then why it will return error for negative number? Because square root cannot be found for negative number. If I return -1, it returns me mad domain error. It cannot find the square root for negative number. We can handle this error. There is something called exception handling sk. We can handle that. Okay, we can handle that error if you want, but that is advanced concept called exception handling. But no worry, you can only find the square root of positive integer, otherwise it will return error. Otherwise it will return error. Yeah, you can do that way, but you already have the function, so why to use our logic? Why to use our logic if you already have a function? Because programming is all about learning or exploring built-in functions, whatever functions available and all, Satyam. That's why we use this logic and we try to use sqrt function and we find the square root and we print it. Okay, please confirm me, is this program clear for everyone? Any questions for this program? Any questions for this program? So what we learn in this program now, how to import any module and how to use functions. And also we learn how to check about the module, what are the functions available in module, and how to explore the function. If you wanted to know what is the name of the function, what arguments it takes and what it returns, you can explore the function with the help. But still guys, now we got the confirmation like how many students will be joining. So you need to speak. Everyone has to participate, guys. Then only you will learn. Otherwise, if you do not come up with your question, sorry, Visual has to come up, check, please log in. Let me help him, guys. Let me help him. Okay, so dir of math is similar as command in Linux. Yes, kind of thing, Prashanti. But we said, yeah, we are just looking for the directory. Okay, that's true. That's true. Any other question, guys? Any other question regarding this? Okay, if not, let me explore one more function now. So we introduce sqrt function. For this program, we required one more function. For this program, we required one more function. Another function what we required for this program is round function. Round function. And round function is available in built-in module and it takes two parameter. It takes two parameter. It takes, yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. Okay, helping. This is what we want, guys. Now we are a team. We should help each other, guys. Okay, in whatever may be. So we should be like becomes a peer learning, so that we all wanted to get perfect what we want. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Udit. So it takes two parameter, guys, the number and the decimal value you wanted to round it off. How many decimal you wanted to round it off, you can use this function now. Let me explore this function as well. Let me show you how this function looks like. Let me show you how this function looks like now. So for example, if you say, because it is available in built-in module, you can directly say help on round function. So there is a function called round which will make the value round. You see, it takes the number and the number of digits. The default value is none. So round a number to a given precision in a decimal digit. So what it will do, it will round a number to a given precision in a decimal digit now. The return value is an integer if n digit is omitted or none. Otherwise, returns value has the same type as the number. Okay, it will return same as a number. Now I can use that in my program. Now that completes my program. So as the question says that you have to round up with two digits, so I can use this round value directly here. Now I can say that, or you can use this round here. Now you can use round here. I can say whatever the result you will return, please round it to two decimal value. Please round it to two decimal value. Then what happens, it will round it to two decimal value. The result will be this time will be rounded to two decimal value. Okay, now let me run this code again. So I will run this program and I can see here it has been rounded to two decimal values now. Is that clear? Yeah, round is in built-in function. That's true with it. Whenever it's turned into purple color, you can see that it's built-in function. I'm not using any module for that. So I will tell you whether it is in built-in function. You see here, it's also telling you when I say help on round, help on round. This is how you will learn. Okay, so you see that help on built-in function round in module called built-in. So this is a built-in module which is defaultly available. Last time when I did help on SQRT, it told you that it is available in math module. But this time it's telling you it is available in built-in module. It takes two parameters: the number what you want to pass and the number of digits. So I pass the number here, which is math.sqrt, returning me the number, and I'm passing how many values I want to round off, two digits or three digits or something. If you don't pass the second value, it will return me as it is. It will return me as it is now. Now if I say enter 2, it will return me only that particular value. 1, it will not return me the other way. So that's what it's telling you, that if the second value is not given, then it will omit all the value. It omits that n digit, it will return me only 1. So that way you can round it to integer value. Then if you mention any other value like 2, 3 or 4, based on that it will round off to 3 digits or 2 digits or whatever. Okay, it will round off to 2 digits or 3 digits. But according to our question, this will be the thing. Very good. We can pass like this, of course. We can pass like this. We can pass a floating point value and I can say round it to that. It will automatically round it. No, math is not a built-in, Satyam. So that's why we imported that math. Yeah, he can contact our team people, na? So let's help him out again. Okay, guys, any questions? Any questions regarding this program? Thank you, Udit, for confirming that you have learned two things in this. How to import a module, how to round a function, and how to use print function. Okay, I hope at least no question on print function and input function now. That is major. Forget about math and round. We will explore more functions. You will get more clarity about it because first time you're importing, that's why I'm spending more time now. Making sure that no question on importing any module and using square root function. Okay, Snehal says no question, thank you. Narendra says no question, thank you. Obul says no question. Satyam says no question. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so thank you all. So regarding this program, no question. Shall we go and explore other arguments for this print function now? This is how we learn, guys. We will do some exercises and we'll continue and we will continue with the concept. So the concept should get clear and you should also learn how to do programming. Round is a predefined function. Math is a module, guys. Remember, these are functions, guys. Okay, these are functions. Let me tell you, square root is a function available in math module. Math module, and it is not predefined. Means it is not imported. It is not imported by default. Okay, you have to import them. Round is available in built-in module and it is default imported. Defaultly imported. This thing you should know, guys. Okay, so any function, if I tell you it is in built-in, it is defaultly imported. You don't have to import them. Module actually contains functions, Vamshi. Module is like a folder which contains all the functions. Like for example, you create a folder called song and you place all the songs in that folder. Yeah, like package. Very good. Okay, like you create a folder called song and you place all the songs. So songs are like functions and folder name called song is the module. So in Python, module contains functions and other variables, functions and everything. Understood, Vamshi? Thank you for the question. That's what your question will help many people, guys, because many of them will have this doubt, but some of them will not come forward. But I want everyone to come forward, guys. If you feel like the question is not appropriate, you can ask me privately also. Okay, believe me, I will not take name. I will try to answer your question because my intention is everyone should get clarity. Yeah, there is a difference in library, package, and module, Ubul. We will discuss in detail about modules, how to make our own modules, how to talk about packages, how to set the path, what are mean by libraries. We have a very interesting session on that. Okay, we'll discuss about that. Okay, for some topics like they're big, because we cannot explain in one sentence, so we need to have patience for that because it's there in our syllabus, so we'll discuss. Okay, thank you for confirming, Obul. Okay, so let me get back and talk about other parameters now. Other parameters now. Before I go for another parameter, let me have another question for you now. Let me have another question. Now, for example, I'll remove this program. Shall I send this program, guys? Is it okay? I'll send this program in the group so that if anyone wanted to take it, you can take this program. Okay, you can save in your somewhere so that you will have the programs what we did. So it's good to maintain programs. They are simple, but still it's good to maintain the program. That helps to for later programming what we have. Now I'll ask you one question. Now for example, I will write this print. Print, I'll say hello. Print, I'll say hello, and I will write this print world. What do you think the output of this program? What do you think the output of this program now? Hello world. Santosh thinks it prints line by line. Okay. Nitesh also thinks that it will print hello world. Ubul thinks hello world. Satyam thinks it prints in the same line. Okay. Vamshi, Satyam, everyone thinks it prints in a say different lines. Very good. Okay. Okay, very good. So let us run this code now. So it prints in two different lines. That's true. That's true. May I know why? Why it's printing in two different lines? Because if I ask the same question, if I ask the same question in C language, like the people who are from C language, if I ask you the same question in C language, suppose I wrote printf like this. In C language, if I wrote printf hello and then semicolon is mandatory in C language, not in Python. We don't find semicolons in Python. Okay, so printf world, hello world. Now, what do you think in C language, guys? What do you think in C language? What do you think in C language? Okay, in C language it is hello world in same line. Very good. In C language it is printed in hello world in the same line. That is what my question. Why in Python it's printing in two different lines? Why in Python it's printing in two different lines? Can you elaborate this? Can you elaborate this? Why it's printing in two different lines? Why in Python print function is printing in two different lines? No, my question was why, Ubul? Why it's printing in two different lines? Like for example, if I'm writing print hello, print hello, and I'm writing print world. So my question was why it is printing in two different lines. Maybe by default it includes slash n. Okay. It takes two separate strings. Okay. Very good. Very good. So now I am coming with perfect answers, guys. Okay. So your future is very bright. Okay. So good. So now what is happening is, guys, what is happening is in Python, in C language, you have to explicitly add. It's a very common problem in C language that you need to explicitly add this backslash n, right? Are you familiar with these escape sequences like backslash n for new line, backslash t for space, tab space, okay, backslash b for backspace. So all these escape sequences are available in any programming language. So in any programming language, we have this new line character, the tab and everything. So in C language, it is explicitly added at every line because that's why you face the problem. Sometimes you see that you write a program, it comes in same line, but you want it in different line. So you will explicitly go and add the backslash at and at in any other programming language. But in Python, it's very good that it automatically adds backslash n. Okay, it automatically adds backslash n at the end of every print statement. So your print statement will look like this: hello followed by backslash n. Okay, hello followed by backslash n. So that's why it's going to new line every time. And also print word will be printed and it will go to backslash n at the end. It will go to backslash at the n at the end. So every time you remember, it will be added a backslash n at the end. Understood everyone why it's printing in two different lines? No, we don't have to add backslash n. It automatically adds. So this is adding implicitly. Anthony, it's adding implicitly. Sir, but like Java, we have println and print separate for respective use. Is the case with Python as well? No, Adit. No, Aditi. Aditi, we have only print function in Python. There is no new line, so it automatically adds in new line. So if you wanted to compare with Java, then print and println is same in Java and Python. As println automatically adds backslash n at the end. Similarly, Python print statement will add backslash n at the end. That's why it's printing in two different lines. Understood all? Yeah, that's my next question, Aditi. Good. How to print in same line? How to print in same line? Because sometimes it is very much required, guys. Sometimes it is very much required that I wanted to print in same line. Let me show you one simple example. Let me show you one simple example how to print in same line. For example, I wanted to use one for loop. Okay, don't worry about for loop, how it looks. Don't worry about this first line, guys. I'm not teaching this. Let me show you. You will understand, no problem. I will print it. I'll print I. Can you tell me what will be the output of this program? Can you tell me what will be the output of this program now? It will print 1 to 10. Do you agree? It will print 1 to 10. Do you agree? Yes, it will print 1 to 10. Don't worry. It's look simple, right? Don't worry about the first line. I'm not going to explain. This is how we write a for loop in Python, not like your regular for loop. We don't have regular for loop like I is equal to 1, I less than 10, I plus plus. We don't have that regular for loop in Python. Never ever try to use this. This is something different in Python. I will explain. In loops concept, I will explain. But for to show you, I'm showing you. So it prints 1 to 10, that's 2. Same line or different line? Same line or different line? Different line. Because do you agree that after end of every print statement, it will add slash n? So sometimes if I wanted to print 100 values, don't you think that it looks, Nitesh, why confusing? Let me see. What is the confusion here? Please ask if you getting any confusion, because this is a right time. For statement, I told you don't worry. For statement, I'm not teaching you because it loops. I'm telling that loop for 1 to 101. So 101 will not be included. It will loop for 100 times. Repeat for 100 times. So it's true, Nitesh. Not only for you, it's confusion for everyone. I told you don't worry. It simply repeat for 100 times now. The syntax, please don't worry. If you're worried about the syntax, Nitesh, please don't worry. Only worried about the output. Now you see the output of this program is it prints 1 to 100 for, you see, it's printing 1 to 100. Agree, Nitesh? Do you understood now? It's printing me 1 to 100. That's what you need to understand. Don't worry about the program, just worry about the output. I shown you this program just to worry about the output. Because every time it will add backslash n Srinivas. That's what we learn. But in Python print statement, every print statement will be added backslash n. Every print statement will be added backslash n. Now it is inside the for loop, so print statement execute every time. It will be adding backslash n at the every end. Understood and all? But now let us learn why it's adding backslash n at the end. Why it is adding backslash at the end? Because there is a third parameter in Python called end, and the default value for end is backslash n. The third parameter in function print is end, and default value is backslash n. Meaning at the end it will automatically add backslash n. Can I change this? Yes, you can change this. Like in this program now, if you wanted to print in same line, because in different line it is like taking a lot of space. You wanted to print in same line, then you can use this end argument and you can tell them, please add a space in between them. Please add a space in between them. Then what happens now? It will add a space in between them and it will be printed in same line. Now it's looking good, better than our previous output. It's printing in same line now. Understood everyone? Understood everyone? Now let's get back to our previous example. In our previous example, we printed hello world. We printed hello world. Yeah, that's what. No problem. Output I wanted to show. Now that's what Anjali's question. That can I print in the same line? Hello world. Yes, you can print in same line. What you can do is you can say end is equal to a space. End is equal to space. Then hello world will be printed in same line. This can be interview question. This can be interview question. Understood everyone? That instead of backslash n, you're telling that please print a space. No, separator will not help you, Udit. Separator will only help you if you have comma separated arguments. Separator will not help you. If you use separator here, it will no impact. Separator will only comes in picture when you have multiple arguments. Understood? Good question, Udit. Good question. The separator will not help you here, so we have to use end argument. Okay, so let us try to explore a little bit more. Okay, tell me the output for some of the programs now. Tell me the output now. For example, if I write this print statement like this, I'll say, okay, I will say something like this: end is equal to star. Tell me the output. If you can tell me the output of this program, it means you understood all the three arguments. You understood all the three arguments. For example, I will say print. I'll say print 2 comma 3 2 comma 3 comma sep is equal to hyphen hyphen, sep is equal to hyphen hyphen, and end is equal to star star. Please tell me what is an output of this code. Separator, Udit, because now you will understand now. Separator only will help you when you have this comma separated argument. Separator will only get in between the arguments, and end will add at the end. The name itself will give you the things, guys, right? Yeah, thank you, Udit. So Satyam says it will print 2 hyphen hyphen 3 star star. Very good. Saif also thinks that it will print 2 hyphen hyphen 3 star star. If I have 2 comma 3 comma 4, guys, now tell me 2 comma 3 comma 4. No, Prashanti, you have to check. So remember, separator will be print in between the arguments and end will be printed at the end only. Very good, Satyam. I hope now you all will see the output and you will understand how it's getting printed. Okay, how it's getting printed now? Let me explain. So what is happening here? It prints 2 and separator will print in between. So 2 hyphen hyphen got printed. Then 3 got printed and separator will be printed. So remember, separator will be printed in between of arguments and end will be printed only at the end. End will be printed only at the end. Now if I remove that separator and end, they will add default values. Default value for separator is a space, and for end it is backslash n. It is backslash n. Understood all? The difference between separator and the end? What is mean by separator and what is mean by end? Very good. Thank you, Udit. Thank you, Obul. Okay, thank you, Nitin. Yeah, if we don't give separator, it will give space by default. If you don't give separator, it will give space by default. You see the output will be 2 space 3 space 4 and then star star. Very good, Udit. Yeah, I will read Rajshekhar. In this program, I ask you that what will be the output. Let me put it in my chat Blackboard how it is working. Let me put it in my Blackboard how it is working now. Okay, so how internally it will use it. Now, for example, if I use this print function, if I use print like this, 2 comma 3 comma 4, we know that output will be 2 space 3 space 4, because by default separator is space and it will go to next line. The cursor will go to next line. When I use print 2 comma 3 comma 4 and comma separator comma sep is equal to hyphen hyphen, then in between it will print 2 hyphen hyphen 3 hyphen hyphen 4. So separator means print in between now. Print in between. If I say print 2 comma 3 comma 4, okay, 2 comma 3 comma 4, and I wanted to print end is equal to star star, then what happened? 2 3 4 will be printed and at the end star star will be printed. So that way you can change the separator value and you can change the end value. Rajshekhar, is that clear for you now? Okay, very good. Let me ask you one more program. For example, I will write print end is equal to star. Or simply I will write print. Okay. Or I will say, okay, fine, no problem. End is equal to star. Okay, end is equal to star. Then I will say print hello, sorry, it should be quotes, hello, okay, comma, end is equal to hyphen, okay, end is equal to hyphen, and then print Python, maybe single or double quotes, print Python. Okay, print Python, and then you have, what will be the output, guys? Tell me, what will be the output now? Yeah, very good, Snehal. Separator for between the values and for whole line. End is equal to star, hello, end is equal to hyphen and Python. What will be the output now? What will be the output of this program? And also I will use separator now. Separator is equal to star star. Separator is equal to star star. Please look at this carefully and try to answer. End is equal to star, hello, comma, separator is equal to star star, and hyphen and Python. Okay, Anjali thinks star. After star there is a space, guys. No, okay, okay. Snehal, I thought that there's a space after star. Okay, Satyam and all they printed star. Okay, so first how it will print now? It will print star. After printing star, will it go to next line? After printing star, will it go to next line? Udit, no new line, guys. No new line because it is not adding backslash n. We change that new line. It will not go to new line. So after star, do you think that hello will be printed in the same line? Hello will be printed in the same line? Very good. So after star, hello will be printed in the same line. It will not go to new line. Do you think that double star will be printed now? Do you think that double star will be printed now? No, because there is no two arguments. If there is only single argument, separator will not make sense, guys. Remember, separator will only make sense if you have more than one argument in same print statement. Separator will only make sense if you have more than one argument in the same print statement. Now separator will not be printed. So hyphen will be printed instead of new line, and then Python will be printed in the same line. So that's where the output of this code will be star hello hyphen Python. That's true, guys. Star hello hyphen Python. You see, it's printing like this. How many of you confirms that it will print star hello hyphen Python? Confirms. Very good. Satyam, Shiva Krishna, thank you. Ubul, thank you. Prashanti, Anjali, Nitin, Snehal, Vishwajit, Aditi. No problem. Even if you give 1 star or 2 star, it will never be printed. It never be printed, guys. Okay, because there is no two arguments here. There is no two argument. If I add something like this, hello comma world. Now can you tell me what will be the output? Hello comma world. Now the star separator also comes in picture because it has multiple arguments now. It has multiple arguments, so separator also comes in picture now. Now the output will be something like this. Hello double star world. Very good. Very good, Udit. Now everybody following. Now I can see Udit is following, Satyam, Aditi, everybody following. What is the difference between separator and end? So remember, end will be replaced by backslash n, and whatever you write in separator, it will be replaced by whatever you write it. By default, it is space, and by default, end value will be slash n. So if you don't write anything in place of n, it will add backslash n automatically at the end. Okay, that is what we have to understand. So I took one real-time example for loop where you use end very useful. That way end is very useful. Otherwise printing 100 lines of code is not good. So that's why we printed in same line by replacing end is equal to space. So in real time you will use a lot. So we conclude that whenever we use end, it concatenates the line. Yeah, it prints in the same line, Aditi. It will not add backslash n. It replaces the backslash n with your character, whatever you have given. By default, it will not add backslash n. So today's conclusion is we learn few things. What we learned today? We learned that how to import any module, like math module or time module, numpy module, any module, how you import that module. But math module is already installed, it comes by default, so you can import them. And we also explore round function. The round function is available in built-in module. It is by default imported and it takes two parameters, the number and the number of digits. So if you wanted to round any value, you can round this value. So with the, we solve one program based on this now. And then we also revised today, that's why it took time, because most of the people have joined us today, so we revised for them. So value and separator, okay, and end, three arguments we have discussed. What are total number of arguments in print function, guys? How many arguments are there in the print function total? 5. Let me show you. Can you check that? Yes, you can check that. You can always check that. How to check? You can do help again. You can do help again. It prints something, don't worry. Now I can do help on print function. Help on print function. Now it will show you the print function takes multiple argument. Value we have seen already. Separator is a space and end is a backslash n. And next class we will talk about file and flush. These two functions we will explore. Not required now, we can explore later when we go for files, but anyhow for 10-15 minutes I will talk about it, then I will conclude my print function, and still we have to discuss some more points about print function. That's why I told you it will take more than 2 to 3 hours for me to discuss about print function. To make you all clear, we'll go slow guys initially until our foundation is set up, then we will discuss. We can speed up if you want, otherwise we will maintain the same speed. No worry, we will complete your complete syllabus. That you don't worry, that is my responsibility. Okay, understood everyone? How to check about the print function? It tells you print function is a built-in function in a print call module. Okay, and it takes multiple argument. You see, print the values to the stream. File is optional. Separator is a string inserted between the value. Default space is, so you can take this string inserted between the values. Default is space, and string appended after the last value. Default is new line. So I hope these sentences make sense now. Okay, file we will talk about tomorrow and flush we will talk about tomorrow. These two things we'll talk about tomorrow and start discussing little more detail about print function. So first thing, every function we need to explore what are the parameters it takes. Okay, that's what we learn. Yeah, of course you can use. You can also use Rajshekhar. Do that, you will see, you will get for everything. Yeah, Nitesh, you have to wait because still we have lot more homeworks I have. But we need to make a WhatsApp group as I told you, na Nitesh. That can only happen after Monday. Because after Monday we will get the confirmation that how many of our students joining. Then we will make a WhatsApp group and all of them will get joined. And then I will start giving homework. Okay, so that's the way we will plan. So don't worry, be relaxed till then. No worry. I know it's good to have homeworks and all. Try to do this if you want. Can you take this screenshot? It's very easy, but try to print exactly same. Yeah, I will repeat because the math function I will repeat. So if anybody wanted to do homework, take this screenshot. It's quite easy, right? You can take a screenshot. Oh, sorry, tomorrow is Saturday, right? So we will not have class tomorrow, sorry. We'll not have class tomorrow. The next class will be on Monday. Okay, okay, sorry. I think that chat box was showing as a black box. Aditi, actually we will do revision. Shall we do backup class on Sunday? Shall we do backup class on Sunday morning for 2 hours? Very good. We'll do a backup class on Sunday, guys. Yes, if we write only print, it will go to next line automatically. That's true, SK. That's what I wanted to show in one example, but I forgot. Same time, guys. We'll have from 7 to 9 on Sunday. Okay, Sunday 7 to 9. All the revisions. So those who have doubt and all can join us. We will discuss. Yeah, I will revise everything till date now. Don't worry, Aditi. I will revise everything till date. Okay, and everybody can join, and we will see that in. Yeah, I'll explain this program, Nitish. You want me to explain this program or this program? Okay, so how it's printing is, first it's printing this star. Okay, first it's printing the star, but it will not go to new line because we changed that new line to star. Okay, if I remove this new line, if I simply write print, it will go to next line first. It will go to next line now. Okay, that you can see it's going to next line. What I did is I use this end is equal to star so that it will not go to new line. It will replace star actually. That I don't know, Ubul. Maybe that revision class, Ubul, but we will plan on Sunday. Have some work. If it is in timetable, they have mentioned that tomorrow is a regular class. Is it tomorrow regular class? Because I got the confirmation that Saturday and Sunday will not have class. Let me confirm. Let me confirm. And if it is a class, we will have a class. Okay. Okay. So at least for this week, Ubul, we will have on Sunday instead of Saturday. At least for this week, we will have on Sunday. Let us see from next week that if we have on Saturday. But anyhow, we have to revise. So we need 2 hour session. Yeah, I'll take a revision class only. I will not teach anything new. I'll take a revision class, whatever we discuss. Okay, welcome, Venkat. So we'll say end is equal to star. Okay, so that will print me a star, and hello will be printed, and in between them separator, that star star will be printed. So that's why that star star is coming in between, and the word will be printed now. Then end is equal to hyphen, so it will not go to new line again. Python will also be printed in the same line. So that's way, whenever you replace that end value, it will not go new line. So there are 3 print statements, but it will not go new line. It will not go new line. Shiva, actually, this is as a regular classes. There is no provision for providing recording, but we'll do revision. We'll do revision every time. If you miss any class, let me know. For 5-10 minutes every time we will revise the previous class. So if you miss any class, you can revise that. You can join early, you can take revision. Yeah, definitely. We will take a revision class. If anybody will be joining, they can join us in revision class, guys. Saturday, it's little not possible, Aditi, at least this Saturday. Okay, because I have another class this Saturday. I don't know that Saturday there is something, so I have planned some class, a workshop. So we will have on Sunday. Okay, from next Saturday, if you want, I will take it, no problem. Because we need to know before. Because last time what I got confirmation is Saturday and Sunday is off, so that's why I didn't plan for this Saturday. Sunday we will plan 7 to 9. Okay, or we will increase the time if you want. Let us have a complete discussion whatever we discussed till now. Okay, thank you, Ubul. What if you write so it will be star and hyphen, Narendra. The output will be star and hyphen. So one homework is play with print function, guys. Play with print function. Okay, put stars and separate and separator and all. I think you will understand very easily. No, Srinivas. It's something different. It's not the workshop actually. It's something different. Okay, not from our institute. Uh, if anything from Naresh IT, will inform you. Okay, any workshop and all, if we conduct, will inform you. Because I generally place the people, so it's regarding placement, and for them also we'll give some technological things. So I'll explain you sometime later. We will also plan sometime. Okay. Okay, that's true. That's true, Obul. Okay, play a little bit with print statements and all. Then don't worry, be relaxed this week. This weekend, I'll give you relaxation so that you do revision. Okay, next weekend onwards, I will give homework. Every weekend, we'll try to give some homeworks. Okay? Yeah, thank you, Obul. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Nitesh. Yeah, thank you, Shiva Krishna. Thank you, Aditi. Yeah, thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Vishwajit. Yeah, thank you, Saif, Satyam, Rajshekhar. Have a good day for everyone. Thank you, Roshan. Yeah, thank you, Narendra. Thank you all. Yeah, thank you, Satyam. So we'll take a leave now, okay?